3, it's going to be our parent graph is going to be our cube function, which the parent graph is y equals x to the third power. Okay, let's determine this middle portion where it changes direction is going to be 0, 1. So that would be y is equal to x minus 0 cubed and then plus 1. So y equals x cubed plus 1. And this means we go up 1 unit. Alright, for this next one, this middle portion right there, we name it as 3, 0. So we have y equals x opposite of 3 cubed and then plus 0, which we don't need that plus 0. So y is equal to x minus 3 cubed, and it's our parent graph shifted to the right 3 units. Alright, we do notice this one's going in an opposite direction, so it's going through the origin, 0, 0, but because it's going that opposite direction, we know it's a reflection. So we have y equals negative for the reflection, and then we just get x minus 0 cubed plus 0, which is just negative x cubed, and that just means it is reflected. Okay, and our last one is going to be, this one's not reflected. It looks like it's going through negative 1, negative 2. So that's going to be y equals x opposite of 1 cubed and then minus 2. So here's our equation of the last one, and it means we're going to go to the left 1 and down 2 units. Okay, we're going to look at our last set of transformations in which we're going to practice this format. So we have y is equal to, our parent graph is the square root of x. And our first one is, we're going to look at this point right here. It's negative 3, 0. So y equals x is going to be opposite of this one, so it's going to be plus 3, and then on the outside we would have plus 0, so you get y equals the square root of x plus 3 is our equation, and we just went to the left 3 units. Alright, b, we look at this, that point is negative 3, 0, but we can see that it's reflected in a different direction, so since we have a reflection going on, we will have y equals, the reflection is a negative, square root of x plus 3, and then on the outside of that you'll have plus 0. So y equals the square root, the negative square root of x plus 3, which just means reflect it, and then to the left 3 units. And let's move to C. This point is the order pair negative 1, 3. So we have y equals square root of x minus 1, and then on the outside we have minus 3. And that's our equation, and it means it's going to the right 1 and down 3 units. And then we have D. We see that D is reflected. So we're going to say y equals, oh, D, let's look at our order pair. It looks like negative 4, positive 2. Negative 4, positive 2. So we have square root. First of all, it's going to be reflected. So don't let me forget my negative. And then we have x plus 4 under the radical and then plus 2 on the outside. And that means it's reflected. This is our equation. It's reflected. It's left 4 units, and it's up 2 units. Okay, let's change it up a bit and do some multiple choice guessing. So we're given our parent graph. Our parent graph is just the x squared function, which is a parabola. And then we notice that this means it's shifted down 2 units. All right, so which one is a parent graph, a parabola shifted down 2 units? And this is going to be A. It's the parent graph. Here it is, the origin, and we shifted it down 2 units. This is a scale of 2. -2, -4, -6, -8, -10. So pay attention to the scaling on the graphs as well. All right. Number 6 says write the equation of a function that has a graph with the given characteristics. It has the shape of a parabola, which in your mind you should be thinking of a parabola, but it's upside down 4 units to the right. So first of all, upside down means it's going to have a negative in front. Well, all of these have a negative in front. They're all reflected, so that doesn't tell us anything. Check. That's taken care of. 4 units to the right. Remember, that's where we think opposite. So it's going to be C, 4 units to the right. So it's reflected, and then it's 4 units to the right. 7, this is our parent graph of an absolute value function, but this means it is shifted to the right 2 units, and this means up 4 units. So we're looking for the absolute value, which is like a V, shifted to the right 2 and up 4. To the right 2, up 2, 4 units, because remember it's scaled by 2, so this one as well is also A. 8 says, how can I graph f of x equals 1 over x plus 4 be obtained from the graph of 1 over x? So first of all, we see this as the parent graph. If this is our parent graph, then what happens if plus 4 is on the outside of it? That simply just means up 4 units. So we're looking for the one that says up 4 units. So that's going to be B. Let's look at 9. Graph the function. Here's our parent graph, which looks like this shape, okay? And then that's going to be, when it's on the outside, that just means up 4 units. So we're looking for our parent graph that was shifted up 4 units. The square root of x shifted up 4 units is graph D. Up, remember these are scaled by 2. 2, 4. So up 4 units, graph D. Number 10, our function f of x equals x plus 2 squared. We know that's a parabola from our parent graph. And then we look closer and see that this tells us to the left 2 units, and this means up 5 units. Okay, so left 2, up 5. Which one looks like it took the parabola, moved it to the left 2, and up 5? Good, it's C. 11, f of x equals the square root of x plus 2. Since this is under the grouping symbol, under the radical, this means left 2 units. So we want the square root that was shifted to the left 2 units. And it looks as if this one went to the right. It's this first one, to the left 2 units. So it's A. Number 12 says, how can the function, the cube root of x plus 4, be obtained from the parent graph? So here's our parent graph, and then we look at this, and that just means up 4 units. And then number 13, let me move this up. 13, it says find the graph of the equation that's given. First of all, they gave me this over here, and when I'm looking at it, I recognize that it's the absolute value of x, but it's flipped. So I know it needs a reflection, so it either has to be A or B. So I'm going to go ahead, B or C, excuse me. I'm going to mark A out because it's not reflected. The other thing is it looks like if this is my origin right here, it looks like it was shifted to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units and down 2. So I'm looking for the one that went right 5 and then down 2. So right 5, down 2, and reflect it. So we can see its answer choice C. Number 14 says, write an equation for the function that has a graph that's the shape of an absolute value of x, which in our mind we should be seeing a v. Shift it 4 units left, 2 units down. So y equals, let's go 4 units to the left. Remember the horizontal shift, we think opposite, and then 2 units down. That's going to be our equation. And then number 15 says if you take our parent graph, f of x equals 1 over x, and then we want to graph 1 over x plus 5 plus 3, we want to know what's going on here. This means you have a left 5 horizontal shift, and this means you go up 3 units. Okay, so we're able to read transformations based on knowledge of parent graphs and our rules for transformations.